Hey everybody, it's Punk Rock from Four for the Road. I just wanted to take a second before the show to tell you about a run hosted by Gator Harley in Leesburg, Florida. They're hosting a ride from Lake Square Mall, where the old JCPenney used to be, back to Gator Harley Davidson. Now, registration is going to be $20 per person and open from 9:30 to 10:15, and they're going to have live entertainment lined up once you guys get back to the dealership to include the White Buffalo. You've heard them, you know them, you love them. And they're playing from 11:30 to 3:30. And on top of all of that, you're going to enjoy food, a full bar, vendors, silent auction, live auction, 50-50 raffles, all the typical stuff that you know and love at these biker parties, right? So come on out and support a run that's benefiting the Children's Burn Foundation of Florida. It's a nonprofit organization dedicated to addressing the needs of children who have suffered severe burn injuries. Thanks for listening, everybody, and we hope you enjoy the show, and we hope to see you out there on August 28th.
Anyway, I had to go to county lockup 30 days, and I got out, and my friends, like any good military friend should do, said, you want to like pay rent or get food? No, let's throw a party and invite whores and have a gangbang.
Hey, welcome back to Four for the Road, everybody. Everyone's Punk Rock. We got NoShame and Dave with us today, and Dave is just fresh off his ride to Sturgis to go hang out with a couple guys from Two Lane Life, Mercenary Motorcycle Company. He met a bunch of people out there, and he had a great time from what we were seeing and what we were being told in the group chat. Why don't you share some of your experiences with us from the rally, Dave?
Yeah, so I got to hang out with a bunch of dudes. Crashed with the mercenary guys. The mercenary guys, they had a Airbnb out in the hills somewhere. Really cool spot. It was kind of crazy with no cell phone reception. You're up in the hills, horses running around in the backyard, all kinds of shit. Like very, very Western-esque. The day I showed up, so I got there a day early. I got there a day before they did. I actually had some dudes from back home that were out there. I sat around, had some beers with them. So Josh from Mercenary gives me a text, says, "Hey, we're coming into town. Here's the address, blah, blah, blah." And it's on this cool road. So I'm like, all right. So I head out that way, and I see the house. It's over here on my left-hand side. And I keep going. I'm like, dude, I just want to see what's down this road. I just want to see what's down this road. So I'm traveling down this road, and all of a sudden this bike is just flying up on my ass end. And it's a bagger. So I know it's not Josh. Josh has a dyno. So I was like, what the fuck is this guy doing? I'm like, where's my gun? Where's my gun? Like, why is this dude flying up on my ass end? It turned out to be one of Josh's homies who thought I had missed the turn for the house. And I'm like, no, I'm just out here sightseeing. So we go to turn around. He hits a slick spot in the road and dumps his bike over. You know, obviously he lets go of the handlebars, kills it, comes over and shakes my hand. He's like, hey, how's it going, man? Good to meet you. So that was my introduction to some of his other crew. All around, just a good time. Stand-up dudes, can't say enough good things about them. Had a blast with my friends from back home the night before. The Two Lane Life guys, got to watch them in action. Got to hang out with Jace and see his new bike and some of the stuff he's doing to it from Fast Life Garage. A good time. I'll tell you what though, the fucking heat gets me. I'm a polar bear. I'm from the Midwest. I can't handle that shit. It's like 96. I thought I was slick.
Damn, you still trying to ride through Death Valley?
Right? I was like, that's what I said. I'm going to prep for Death Valley. I'm going to put this flannel on while I ride through the 96-degree Badland weather. It'll keep the sun off me, and it'll get me a little warm so I know that I can handle it. I was so miserable at the end of it. I had an energy drink, a bag in my bag. So apparently putting energy drinks in your saddlebags is stupid in the heat. That bitch exploded everywhere. My hoodie smelled so bad. Like warm energy drink is the most disgusting, putrid smell in the world, apparently. I had no idea. No idea.
Okay. Oh, that's horrible, man. Hey, so call them out, dude. Who is your favorite people to hang out with? You know what? No. Who is your least favorite people to hang out with? I'm kidding.
Oh, my friends from back home.
Do they listen to the show?
You know, everybody was good, dude. Those mercenary dudes are just on another level. Those dudes they're into the performance. They're into fast bikes. They can ride it. They can rip. It's crazy. And then the other flip side of that is NoShame's camera has frozen. I don't know if it has for anybody else. I can hear his voice, but his camera's frozen with the same look staring back at me. It's just creeping me the fuck out right now.
No, it's not frozen on me.
But yeah, I can still hear him just fine, but his shit's frozen, and it's this weird ass look on his face right now. I'm like, bro, you're creeping me out. But I tell you what, so we had some takeaways from the Sturgis ride, and the first one that kind of hit me was, if you're trashing something like Daytona, Sturgis, Laconia, any of the big ones, for any other reason than prices and crowds, you're just out of touch, or you're lying to yourself, or you're just full of shit or something. Like, you can totally not have a good time and not want to go to Sturgis, and I get that because of the crowds or the prices or whatever. But if you think that there's that like biker shit going on, or club stuff going on, or young guy stuff going on, or relevant what the fuck ever, you're full of shit. Like, performance bikes, Dynas, baggers, old school choppers, FXR shows, dudes camping out, dudes riding cross country, like all of it is going on in this one place. Do the crowds suck? The crowds absolutely suck. But it's like, it's a melting pot of everything, from old dude dinosaurs that probably have 1 million miles combined on their bikes, to dudes that trailer their shit. And you're like, you know what? I really don't want to hang out with you. Like, it's all combined there. But if you have this mentality that like real bikers or whatever the fuck that is don't go to Sturgis, like you're fucking wrong. Like, everybody goes. And if you want to be like, dude, that's not my scene because it's too crowded, it's too far away, I'm not paying $8 for a beer downtown, I'm not elbow to elbow with people I don't know, I totally get that. And that's a valid argument. But to try and tell me that like bikers don't go to Sturgis, or it's just all this trailer park affliction bullshit, you don't know what you're talking about. You're dead wrong.
I 100% agree with that, because I'm not a big fan of huge crowds and shit like that.
And that's totally respectable. Like, I get that argument. I 100% back that argument.
And there's people that do, right? There's people that are all about it. They want to go down there. They want to be part of like the big thing that's going down on Main Street, right? Because like, I wasn't even going to go to Daytona. I wasn't even going to go to Daytona this year. And then you and Mac were the ones that talked me into it. You're like, dude, just quit being a bitch. Go. You got V-Twin Visionaries going down there, Mercenary Motorcycle Companies going down there, and all this other shit. And then you didn't find them anywhere near the Strip. They had their own little pockets, like we discussed on another episode.
And I would say that you're spot on. And I would say that also is applicable to Sturgis, where if you go downtown, not 100% across the board, but if you hit LaSalle Street or Main Street, you're probably just going to see bedazzled jeans, shit you don't want. There's a few cool vendors down there, but it's the bar crowd. It's the cheese dick bars selling you $10 beers and stuff like that. That can be a turnoff. I get that. But like you said, in these outskirts, we got dudes flat track racing, climbing. We got dudes doing run what you brung drag racing. We like I said, dudes bringing homemade FXRs and choppers out of the garage and stuff like that. Like, that element of that biker culture is still there. Like, again, I get it. You don't want to bring your RV and vacation in Sturgis for 2 weeks. Makes total fucking sense to me. I don't either. 3-4 days is fucking plenty. 3 days is plenty. But there's legit clubs going, all this other shit. Like, it was a good time. And again, I think that comes down to anything. It's going to be what you make it. And his face is still fucking in that weird position. Am I still the only one?
Yeah, he actually just texted me and asked me if you sounded like a robot to me too. I think you just have, shitty Wisconsin Midwest internet. And, you splurge on a motorcycle, maybe splurge on some decent internet too. That'd be
okay.
cool.
I can hear you just fine. You're not frozen. He's the only one frozen.
Yeah, well, see, I mean, from my perspective, right, because we're talking about perspectives, I see NoShame just fine. He's moving around. He's got his big cheek grin going on right now. Looks like a chipmunk. It's adorable. But you sound like a robot. See, it's all about perspective, man.
Okay. Let's take a picture of this. I can still hear him, though. I can still hear him. That's the trippy part. The audio doesn't go with what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I think you brought up a point that needs to be addressed, because like you talked about people in affliction, and Silent is a real biker, and he puts a lot of miles on, and that man loves affliction clothing.
Yeah, but we've always told him that his style is fucking lame, okay? I don't know if we need to maybe ask politely for somebody to put a bylaw in there that he is no longer allowed to wear that shit, like once you obtain some rank in the club, but something needs to... Anybody out there that is a patch holding member of the Warlocks MC, please convince him to stop wearing that bullshit.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make a bunch of like clothes in his club colors and just send him like a care package and just be like, here, bro, like just put all that other shit away. It's okay, man.
My man was riding. There's this dude that was with us. He was riding in this behind these other bikes, and this little this chick's fucking bedazzled shit came off of her headband and hit him in the neck. Well, he's like, I thought I was shot. He's like, I've been shot. Well, oh man,
that is fucking awesome.
But I'll tell you, so Ken wrote down some notes for us on some take. So I'd like send him voice messages when something hit me while I was there, and this is what I came up with. We have far too many veteran motorcycle clubs, veteran motorcycle associations, veteran motorcycle social clubs, veteran-related backpackers. Like, and don't get me wrong, there were some very awesome, very legitimate military-related clubs out there. As a matter of fact, I thought I was slick. I'm a nerd. I want to take the back roads. I back road. Like, I want to be the only dude out here, right? Just killing it. And I came upon two leathernecks that had one of his brothers had lost his bags. His bag came off his bike. He was reattaching it. And I was like, oh, hey, dude. I slowed down. I stopped. I'm like, you guys all good? You got everything? He's like, yeah, my bag just came off. I ended up running into them later on in 2 days later or something like that. I was like, hey, man, how's your bike doing? Blah, blah, blah. So there are legitimate clubs and veteran clubs out there, but oh my God, are there a fuck ton of veterans that you don't want to associate with out there? And what I learned, real quick, everybody was special forces. Everybody was a ranger. Like, no wonder the military sucks at paperwork. Nobody's doing it. Everybody's a Green Beret. Like I didn't meet a single dude that was in supply. I didn't meet a single dude how are we eating? Nobody's a cook. I didn't buy this dude's like, what'd you do in the Army? And I was like, oh man, I was in 11 Charlie. He's like, oh, were you a Ranger? I was like, nah. Oh, yeah, Green Beret? Nah. I swear to God, he walked away and went to go talk to somebody else.
He was like, oh man, this guy's authentic and probably knows what he's talking about. I gotta go. But no, man, I see that a lot too, and I think that fuels my hate for most veterans organizations that are out there. Is because you also have you'll have veterans organizations as like the umbrella. You'll have veterans clubs, and then you've got different flavors of veterans clubs in there. Which, okay, cool. You want to separate it by service or something like that. I understand that. But then they go deeper with, well, you have to be in this group of this service to be in here. Or you have to have this experience, like this shared experience of this subsection of the military, of this branch to be in this club. And it's just like, dude, what the fuck are we doing, man? Like, at this point, you guys are just trying to avoid prospecting, is what I think.
Dude, I 100% agree with you. I think it is a thing, and I think they're lying to themselves that they want the accolades and they want the general Johnny public to think of them as a club dude without the hassle that goes into being a club dude.
There's to say like they're avoiding prospecting. I don't even know if that's it. I think they might be like too ignorant to even be doing that. I think a lot of it is just they're avoiding taking the hard route in general. And that might just be avoiding approaching somebody or building a relationship with somebody who's even in a legitimate established club. Like I told you guys that story about, there's a pretty big military club that's out there right now. I'm not going to mention their name or anything, but their origins come from their founding members sitting on a deployment downloading and binge watching all the episodes of Sons of Anarchy, and then he came back and months later they all had patches on, and that's firsthand knowledge of that thing where I got that information from. So it's like you got this guy and he's sitting here and he fantasizes about the life, romanticizes the life, but he doesn't know where to start. And then he's like, well, you just do this military club thing, and it's the easy way out. It's like the cheap way out. Like, and why would you want to be in something like so just unestablished? Like nobody's going out there making a new special forces group. No, you do all the fucking shit that you need to do to get into the fucking ones that are already there.
Yeah, and I think that's a great point. I think that was something that I think you and Professor were talking about in the group chat earlier. All these great established clubs, like, go join one. And real quick, as a disclaimer, if you want, we don't own the arena on motorcycle clubs or what's cool and hip and what isn't. Nobody does. We can all hate what we want, like what we want, etc. If you're just some old dude or some nerdy dude or whatever the case, and you want to rock a bandana and you want to put that devil dog on your back and you got chesty puller busting a nut on the front of your leather vest, that's what appeals to you, dude. I want you to do that. All right. I'm not going to do that. That's weird to me. But I want you to be able to represent however proud you are of your service. Like, I'm specifically talking about the dudes that you know what the fuck you're doing. Your speech, your demeanor, your walk, your talk, the way you're setting up these patches on your vest. Everything is meant to replicate, but also to give you an out. You're basically preach, but with a military club. Like, you want to push the boundaries, and then when you're called, like, oh no, that's not what I'm doing. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, we see, and that goes around a lot, especially when these guys get, oh no, I'm not a club, I'm an association. It's different.
I had that conversation with one of these guys in a large military association club thing, and the whole thing was he was talking to me about how, like, oh yeah, it's not that we're scared of prospecting, we have prospects. I said, what do you mean you have prospects? I said, no, yeah, we prospect. I said, well, then you're not an association. Like, you got to watch that fine line because you guys want to walk it and you want to pull the card. But the more and more you start acting like an MC, the more and more we're going to start treating you like an MC. So if you want to have the veil of protection of being a military association or a riding club or whatever you want to call it that doesn't have that MC cube, then stay in your lane. But the more and the more you emulate an MC, it doesn't matter what little insignificant difference you put on your stuff. The moment you start acting like it, the moment you start functioning around people, you're going to be held to the same standards.
I heard a example. I forget who I was talking to, but we were discussing this as well. That specific organization that we're all referencing. He told me what he educated one of the guys on was the more that you conduct yourself as an association, you have an iron curtain of protection that separates you from most of the stuff in the club world. But the more you want to get close to that line and walk that line, your iron curtain goes to a silk veil. And I don't know, that kind of stuck with me. I like that. I like his analogy there.
So something that goes with having too many veteran clubs is the goddamn biker wave. We're at a fucking rally, my guy. Put your hand back on the fucking throttle, all right? It's fucking tire to tire traffic. All right, is that your throttle? Put it back on. Is that the clutch? You better put that shit back on. I had one dude, I swear to God, I thought he was riding a bull. His whole fucking arm came out. I'm like, bro, you're gonna wreck. All right, it's
like waving.
It's like nut to butt traffic, my God. There's 700,000 people in town. Are you gonna do that forever? Put your goddamn arm down.
Did you pick up new slang while you were gone? You said my guy twice in one rant, and I've never.
I think I've always enjoyed my guy as like
I hate it so much.
That's why I like it. I feel like it drives it home. Like, if you're in an actual argument with somebody and you're just like, hey, you know what, my guy? I feel like that would just drive me up a wall, and so I like it. When you're trying to like describe that guy, my guy.
Bro, we have a guy in my club, and he likes to talk a lot. And when he talks, he says my guy all the time. And I just sit there, just like, oh my fucking God, shut. And it'll be in meetings, so like you can't you don't want to be disruptive in a meeting. You just got to listen to him. My guy. Just like,
but is he saying it about other? Like, I wouldn't say it about friends of mine. like people I like. Like if I say my guy, that's to me that's like a nice derogatory term.
No, that's just his word.
Oh no, I could. That would drive me up a wall.
I now know how I'm going to conduct myself in the group chat from now on.
It's a great. I just feel like it's a great like backhanded slap without being like too overly aggressive. Like you just, hey, my guy, knock that shit off.
Dude, my sister says it too, and she lives with me, and she kind of stopped saying it. I think she got the point when I started like giving her dirty looks. So she would like come downstairs, and be like, hey, my guy, shut the fuck up.
What you gotta do, man, is you gotta overuse it in front of her, and then when she looks at you and be like, that's how you fucking sound. I had to do the same shit with my son, because everything was bro. Like a comma. It was bro. Like, yeah, bro. So like me and my bros, we went broing down at the bro cave to do bro stuff. It's just like, homie, like I will slap the fucking taste out of your mouth. Shut the fuck up. I don't like that.
I don't like it at all.
I'll tell you another thing that we can talk about. I went out there because I said I'm a nerd. I like Wyoming, Montana, South Dakota. I like all that shit, right? I just want to be where there's like not people, which seems counterintuitive because I went to fucking Sturgis, right? But we had there was a lot of friends and different things going on and why I wanted to go out there. But I usually like to get away. So I went out there a few months ago, and some of the bars that I stopped at along the way had club guys in them. They had stickers from club guys and all this other stuff. And then you go back for Sturgis, and they're like, no colors allowed. Like a month ago, you just had 3 different 1%er clubs in here. Now you get no colors allowed. And I'm pretty sure they meant clubs and not people. Like, so what's the deal, my guy? What's the deal, my guy?
See, that was one of the things that you didn't bring up when you were talking about like reasons not to go. For me, that's my big reason not to go to Sturgis is that I'm sure now I know for a fact there are things outside of like the main event that are club friendly and like parties that you can go to and stuff like that. But just to me, it's like that's like the biggest turnoff for me. And not to say that I'll never go. I do plan on going sometime, but that's what gets me least excited about it.
So and to your point, you're 100% right. And I think if you go, you'll notice that there are multiple large 1% clubs that attend. However, they all do the stuff outside of that main. They may walk downtown once just to say I've walked downtown, but you're right. They have their stuff established in other smaller towns, outside in the outskirts, whatever the case may be, where it's less restrictive. You get out of that main street area where all the cops are and everything else, and then it opens up. But I just thought it was wild to I was here a month ago, and you guys, support your local whatever all over in this bar. I got dollar bills all over the wall that say shit from other clubs, and now you're like, you know what? I'm gonna have to go ahead and ask you to not come in. No, you can't have your dollar off the wall. Jerome, I'm gonna need you to step outside. Okay, you can't bring your colors in here, and it's just wild to me.
It's like I want to try to defend it too. You're like, oh well, fucking big rally, everybody's fucking drunk. It's just like, but at the end of the day, dude, it's just cheesy. It's a double standard at best. Like your money's welcome here when it's the off season, when it's kind of slow, but when we're guaranteed to have people patronize our bar, then your money's not good enough here. Fuck you. I don't.
Yeah, and I agree. It was just. So that would be, like NoShame said, that would be a downside. I didn't ask. So my question that I thought about while I was out there watching these major clubs with their gatherings and stuff like that is this a Mando? Is this a regional or a national run or whatever state run or whatever? Is this a Mando for some of you guys? Like how fucking boring would that get if every year you had to come? Like I've been 3 times now. I've been 3 times. And I think I'm good. I think I'm good for a few years yet. I would, for certain people, for certain events, I would go back. But when I go on there, I did 3 days. That's plenty. For these large 1% clubs, is this a national run for you? And dude's got to come like every year. I'd be like, fuck it. Just in advance, I'm paying the fine. I'm not fucking going. there's no way it's fun year after year. I don't care how good of friends you have with anybody in any state sharing the patch. There's no way you convince me to go to that every year. My man, I swear, his bike. So we have this brand. His name is Brandon. Dude, love Brandon. We'll have to post him on Instagram or some shit like that. I made the sign of him that said like it was the old Life magazine from 1980 with the big burly biker and his chopper, and then my man with his broke down bagger over here. That thing must have fucking broke down once a day. I love that dude, Brandon. Amazing dude, amazing guy. Stand up, can't say enough good things. But that bike was down every day.
So you're saying Brandon?
He's stuck with it.
Stock bike, or did he have a bunch of stuff done to it?
He had a bunch of stuff done to it, and it was little things. The valve in the front tire, the valve stem, got bent one day, and it leaked all the air out of his front tire. He popped his rear tire one day, just riding around like on his way to Sturgis. I mean, just small things. I saw on Instagram yesterday, he broke down again. I was like, God damn, dude. And it was like 98 degrees. We're at the Bell Brawl, which is like the stunt show or whatever, at the Buffalo Chip, which is an awesome event to go to. However, preface that with, if it's 98 degrees out, fucking stay home. It was miserable. And you can get so close to that shit. Like in the Bell Brawl, like literally when they're doing burnouts, you're just getting smacked in the face with tire. Like that's how there's no barrier there. If homeboy fucks up, he's just like all of y'all are just gone. And it's hot. And the smoke and the tires and the noise and his tire and Brandon's tire went flat. I was like, bro, look, I'll give you a down payment. Let's just get a new one and get the fuck out of here. Right? It's too goddamn hot out here.
I got a buddy or a brother of mine that works at Harley, and he's got all this stuff done to his bike. Like literally, like not one piece of the bike is gone untouched. Really nice bike. It's been on like magazines and stuff like that. And he's like, it's always broken though. And I was like, why are you putting all this money in this bike? It's always fucking broke. And he's like, oh, it's all under warranty. Like, how fucking good does that do you? It's always in there for warranty work. And he's got a second bike, same thing. He started, this is just going to be my riding around bike. Then he like, but I got to put cams in it. And it's like, I got to do this to it. And it's like, now that bike's fucking broke. And it's like, when's the last time you had a running bike?
Dude, you're spot on, bro. I'm telling you, there is something to be said about a mostly stock bike. Cams and all this shit, and then and all this. He's got this. I think he's got a 124 engine in that bagger of his, and it sounds badass. And he can ride fast as shit. But I'm gonna pass you eventually because you're broke down on the side of the road. Like, you're gonna go faster in a short amount of time. You're probably gonna get more chicks and have more fun than me. But I'm gonna keep driving around. I'm just gonna gas and go, baby.
Yeah, I was thinking about that when I was parts shopping recently. I was like, man, I could do slip-ons, I could do an air cleaner. You know, it cost me about $2,000, $2,500, somewhere in there. Or I could not fuck with a bunch of stuff and just do slip-ons because my bike runs just fine right now.
That's it. That's all you gotta do. Slip-ons just to make it sound a little nicer, and then like mild cosmetic stuff.
Yeah,
I'm not touching my fucking engine. Fuck that.
Yeah, like when I get rich, I'll fucking buy a Dyna and we'll fucking hot rod that thing out. But not the bike I'm still making payments on, you know?
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, and maybe that makes me a bitch. I don't know. I know a lot of my friends.
That's fine. I'll wear that. I'll wear that hat and save my gas and have plenty of money for gas. Gas is going up, so you get your cams and you get your 2-in-1, and you do all that, and I'm gonna still be able to afford gas. So I don't know.
I don't think it makes you a bitch to be able to like ride your bike all the time. Like,
I think, and if we're gonna be serious, if we're gonna like make it a serious conversation too, like just as long as you're not like fucking with anybody they want to do. Like if you're an asshole and you're over here like, oh, my bike's the best, I'm a top bagger bro or whatever, right? Like I've masturbated to Jace's podcast every day because I only do it once a week. So if you're doing it every day and like then your bike breaks down, everybody has an obligation to jump on you and make fun of you because you're a fucking douche, bro. Like let Ken or Dave or whoever have their stock bike with some modifications because it does what they want to do. And enjoy dudes that have really awesome souped up bikes because that's what they want to do and what they can do. But if you're just like going around like slamming what other people have just to make yourself feel better and your bike breaks down, I 100% have no sympathy for you.
No, you're the kind of motherfucker, like, if I'm riding with you and we're going somewhere and you're talking shit about, oh, this dude's got a little tank and this dude's on a fucking Sportster so he can only go this fast. And, you know, if they would just be men and get big bikes, and you know what, dude, I hope you fucking fry a wire somewhere and you're definitely going to be the dude that I'm going to make sure you get to a gas station. But after that, it's like, hey, man, I got shit to do. I'm out. Like, I don't need to fucking surround myself with people.
Dude, and it's the same thing with the dudes on choppers with peanut tanks and everything. Those bikes are awesome. But if you're like that chopper dude that like needs to have a special coffee and make fun of everybody else, like I also hope that your shit continually leaves you on the side of the road because fuck you.
I hope you bust something and your bike will never kick again.
Like, and I get it. Like we have tough guy shit and cool guy shit and what's righteous and we do. You want to a little bit and show out and all that. I get it. I 100% get it. And it's fun. And I enjoy that. I enjoy a little smack talk and all that kind of stuff. But any normal human being knows what's like good fun and like what's over the line and you're just a douchebag. And that's what I'm talking about, that dude that's just constantly over the line too much.
Yeah. And most of those guys forget where they came from, because I don't know a whole lot of people that started out on a bagger or a Harley bagger, rather. I've never met anybody that started out on a fucking Harley bagger, but maybe a Sportster. But then now that you got these big twin guys that want to talk shit about Sportsters, it's like, man, didn't you ride an 883 for like 6 years before you got this thing, or before you upgraded to a Dyna first and then a bagger? I'm feeling left out here. Secrets don't make friends, guys.
What secrets?
No, you're just both looking at your phones at the same time.
Oh, I'm taking a gun apart.
I was trying to see what our next notes were here.
Dude, I kind of want to talk about that last ride shit, man. That shit kind of fucked me up.
We'll get to that. Also,
I feel like I'm getting secreted. What's the last ride?
We told you before we started.
Never mind.
Dude, so one other takeaway that I had was like some of the smaller clubs that have to be big time hard.
Ooh.
And I think there's two trains of thought. And I think the easy one is to like just slam them and be like, stop acting retarded. Like nobody gives a shit. But I also get that there is value in that you have to, as a smaller club, you have to be tough. If you want to survive in this world, you also have to be tough. And so I think as a smaller club, you're kind of walking a line between being legitimate, being able to stand on your own 2 feet, but then also trying to be something that you're not. And I think that it's easy to point to the ones that are like, you take that small mom and pop club and like, they instantly got to be outlaws. They got to adopt everything about the 1% culture or the outlaw culture or whatever. And it's like, bro, just be happy being a Waffle House club or that local whatever. Be happy with that. And if you want more, step up to go get more, but don't try to make your club into that. And that's the part I think that is kind of the most annoying in that aspect. And not so much talking about that club that is just a good club. It's small, but it can stand on its own 2 feet. That kind of toughness. I think there's a difference in the two. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you had thoughts on that.
Nope.
No, I came from a small time club. We weren't really a support club. We just kind of fucking did our shit. Wasn't a military club like Dave used to love to say.
Yes, it is.
It happened to have a bunch of military guys in it. Military service was not a requirement for the club.
How many people were in the club that didn't have any military service?
That's besides the point.
Okay. Your colors were like blue dingy. Get the fuck out of here.
Fuck you. No, they weren't.
Dude, it was like Poseidon, right? On the back patch. Like, calm down. I can't think of a famous Navy SEAL off the top of my head.
Dude, of course you can, man. They've all fucking written books and workout programs. And
I know. I was having a brain fart. And I also circle back real quick. Love NoShames. You gonna expand on that? No.
Nope.
He's like, I thought you were gonna expand on that. No.
yeah. Okay. Is there anything? No. But no, I'm going back to my point before I got ragged on by Dave.
I was there too.
You weren't really talking shit. You were there, right? You saw it. You didn't participate.
Bro, that slam of how many didn't have military service, that was great. The delivery, that was total my guy delivery. All right, he's like, how many didn't have service?
All right, my guys. So, but just fucking stayed in our own lane for the most part. We had a couple of issues, right? But we got educated, and not in a fucking, the way I would prefer to be educated, right? We had a great time, My values changed a little bit. That's why I went the way I did. Their values ended up changing mostly as a whole, and that's why they ended up going and doing the stuff that they did. And I had a lot of fun. I'd probably, if I was still stationed in San Diego, I'd probably still be in that club.
There's like a tornado siren going off right now in my house.
Yeah.
I was like, there's like an emergency weather, like get to the basement.
Is it an actual tornado? Oh,
I mean, you guys be able to see. I mean, I do this in my room, so like you'll be you guys, if it shows up, you guys will be able to see it with me.
Yeah, there's definitely like this weird thing about like there's two kinds of small clubs, right? Like I think Dave kind of alluded to it, but there's like you got clubs that have been around for a while and they're established, and maybe they're just memberships kind of short at the moment, and then you got like clubs that are just trying to get off the feet, and then like, but yeah, and they are in like their own little kind of unique predicament, but I don't think it needs to like really change the way you act. Like we had a 1% club that was getting its feet wet out here in my area a few years back. Established club, they've been around for a while. They just haven't been in this area. And then they started growing, but their numbers were still pretty small. Then they had a bunch of people that were no longer a part of the community. And then because I don't know, they didn't want to be there or whatever. So they ended up being like really fucking small, maybe like 5 guys. And then there's this other 99 club who is kind of in the same boat. They had a lot of military guys in the club, so they would fluctuate in their numbers from time to time. And they decided that because of some stuff that happened in a different part of the country, that 1% club was going to run up on this 99 club. And we ended up mediating a sit down between both of them. And that it was very funny to watch the dynamics play out, because you had that 1% club who was pretty small in numbers, and they thought they were just going to have to like go extra hard and flex and, oh, you guys aren't allowed anywhere, and just pull all the same shit that everybody's familiar with. And then 99 club was just like, oh, fuck you, we're going to do what we want. And that's it. And I kind of just sat there with like a little smile on my face, like, damn, bro, they just called you out, you didn't do anything about it, and nothing ended up fucking happening. But it's kind of funny to see, like, it's not what you're saying or how you're acting, it's really the way you carry yourself. And for that 99 club, they were respectful to everybody, and they had the respect of the community. They did what they were supposed to do. They showed up where they were supposed to show up to. They treated people properly, so the community as a whole had their back. They didn't have to go around playing tough guys. That 99 or the 1% club that's no longer in the area anymore, they came in with a different attitude. And they thought they were going to come around here and bully people and take over, and they were going to be the dominant and all this shit. And like I said, they're not around. And that 99 club still is. So you don't have to be a jackass just because you're small and you think you have to, like, show out to get people to quit fucking with you. Just be a good person. Do things the way you're supposed to do them. And the people that need to see will see. And your righteous actions will be far more appreciated than you acting like a jackass.
I think there's a lot to be said about respect and authenticity, because without that, this is all for nothing.
Dude, I think you're spot on too, Ken. I think authenticity. And like NoShame's talking about, those guys, the 99s, were authentic, where I think, it sounds like from the scenario that 1% Club just wasn't being authentic. And I think 9 times out of 10, whatever, authenticity will get you farther than tough guy shit, because if you're authentic, you're going to be a good person. And I don't mean good person in that, you're nice to everybody or whatever. I mean, a good person, like NoShame said, you're conducting yourself in a manner that is expected. If that's holding down an area or being respectful or saying hi to the right people or whatever, the riding where you're supposed to ride, whatever the case may be. Authenticity is what will be noticed by people more than any bullshit you spew.
I could not agree more. Could not agree more. You put that so eloquently.
Thanks, my guy.
Dude, I absolutely am in love with your laugh, NoShame.
It goes into cheeks. It fits the cheeks perfectly.
Dude, these cheeks are not going to be here for long. I got really pissed because I got on the scale the other day and I came downstairs. I was like, babe, you still got your gym membership? She's like, yeah. And I was like, all right, we're going to the gym every day. She goes, for how long? I was like, it's not going to stop. We're just going every fucking day. I'm fucking tired of this shit. Gained 5 pounds. I didn't work in July. So I've just been kind of I haven't been like a lazy piece of shit, but I've been taking a lot more naps than usual. And my step count's down on my iPhone. But yeah, gained 5 pounds. Not happy with it.
Hell yeah, man. Doing something about something you don't like. I like it. Instead of just bitching about it. See, I'm just going to bitch about it. Look, man, I'd like to have a body like Atlas, but these beers are tasty,
I would just hand you my gym key at that point. Every day. No, here.
If I could just have a body even if I had a body like Drifter, I'd be fine.
Okay. So yeah. Okay. At his age now. Okay. I hope that we remember this conversation in Vegas. I'd like to revisit that statement. That
we should do a comparison.
We should.
A fashion show where Drifter will walk out.
We need one more
reverse fucking Hooters interview where they had to press their tits up against the wall and their stomach can't touch, but you guys are gonna put your stomach against the wall and see whose foot tips are closer.
We're one person short for having a 12-month calendar, right? We need to find one more dude and we can shoot a calendar.
Yeah, but so it's on December, so we could layer up.
We could do one's a group picture.
Oh, and there you go. We've got enough. We could do a full calendar shoot next month.
We are doing. That shit's gonna go up for sale.
Give Tragic October, and then it's just gonna be a black square.
We'll use his childhood picture in the banner. Do you have the option to make calendars on Bastard Sons?
We're about to find out.
Yeah.
Every time I come on a podcast, we need to get a product.
Yeah, dude. I made a sticker. Dave, I don't know if you listened to the last one, but I made a sticker while we were recording.
And I bought it while we were recording.
Yeah, he did. I'm really excited for you to see your...
Did you put something gay on the shipping label again?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. So I could do canvases, posters, a framed poster. Ooh, embroidered aprons.
Oh, that would be pretty dope too, though.
Wall art. Ooh, I could do a pet ID tag, because when you say dog tag, your mind goes.
Can we just make it a single sheet poster that's got the 12 months on it?
I feel like that's really Chinese.
Yeah. I'd have to see how big it is.
I don't say that to be racist. I just say that as in the only place I've ever seen a calendar where it's all on one giant poster is in Chinese restaurants.
Yeah.
Yeah, the biggest I can go is a 24 by 36.
All right, we're going to work the logistics of this out later. But coming soon to somewhere near you or far away from you. 4 for the road.
Depending on your
calendar.
we're looking at a Christmas time release here on this calendar.
It's gonna be mean silent for December. Just like board shorts and flip flops because it's still gonna be 90 fucking degrees.
So
that man don't wear fucking shorts. I know.
Do you think he would wear Affliction jeans for it, or like Affliction shorts, or
Dude, Affliction jeans that were cut off above the knee?
He should wear
Affliction jorts.
Yes, he should wear Affliction jorts, and you should be standing next to him in Jinkos.
It's
just the dynamic, because he's what, like 6? He's like what, 6-7 inches taller than you?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so he should be in like some jorts, and you should be in some baggy ass Jinkos.
I see what you're doing there. Fuck you.
And just standing next to each other.
I feel like these are the same size, guys. Fuck.
Hey, so Ken.
Yep.
One day you're gonna fucking die, and it's gonna be your last ride, and you may not even know it. And this is a topic that you've wanted to talk about,
dude. And it fucked me up. Like when I read that. It's just like it stalled me out, man. I was like, Jesus, fuck.
But for like 99% of us, we probably will have no idea the last time we get on a bike is the last bike.
Exactly.
Like unless you're like out there actually making a conscious decision that, like, you know what, I can't ride anymore. I'm going to sell it next month after this ride. Like, you just never know. Like, even if you decide to sell it, like, you didn't know that the last time you got on it before you decided that you didn't want to do it anymore was your last fucking ride. And then if you're just going to ride until you die, well, you don't know when that is either. So you never know when your last ride's coming, for the most part, for most of us.
I've got some personal experience with this, because when I joined a club, it was actually a club that my father and his best friend had started. And my dad died in a tragic motorcycle accident, and his best friend was now my stepfather because he started dating my mother. And I found my dad's old diaries, and I started going through them, and slowly over, like, I don't know, 7 or 8 seasons, I just started turning into what my father was, and I decided to go out in a blaze of glory.
No, I can't believe Ken left for that. What the fuck, dude? I was so into that. Like, dude, NoShame's dad is died in a motorcycle accident, and then I was like, my God, I funded him for this sounding like Sons of Anarchy, but I can't. That's over the line. I can't cross that line. That's a man's father, and then fucking. Dude, how is Ken gonna not be here for the best part of the show?
He's gonna re-listen to it and he's gonna enjoy it later.
When did you already have that worked up, or is that just something?
That's on the fly.
That's amazing.
Thank you. We used to play this game when I was deployed. We'll wait for Ken to get back before we finish talking about this. But when I was deployed, we used to have this game. There's this sergeant first class that transferred over to our unit right before our deployment, and he came from Camp Atterbury, which is like where they like train National Guard guys to like deploy and shit. And he would always like say, "Oh, back at Atterbury, we did it this way." So we had this game where we played Back at Atterbury, and you would basically say the plot of a movie, and then somebody would say like, "Oh, is that like the Titanic?" And you say, "No, that was Back at Atterbury." So I got a lot of practice like summarizing movies and TV shows.
Ken,
Yo.
How rude are you, dude? This dude's telling us a story about the day his dad died, and you get up and walk the fuck out.
So in my defense, I was already on my way out, and when he was talking about his dad died, and I've got this little baby bladder, so I really had to go. I'm sorry.
This man is telling us. I'm not trying to be funny. This man is telling a story about his dad's passing, and you walk the fuck out.
Dude, I was over there when I heard about his dad passing.
Tell me the story then. You fucking
No. Like I was like,
look at his face. You can tell he feels guilty. He feels guilty as shit right now.
I couldn't hold it in.
All right, you know what? You know what?
I was trying to pretend to cry, but I don't have it in me.
You know what? No shame. I'm sorry for this. You know what? If it's not too painful, tell him the story again.
You want to hear the story, Ken?
Well, I'd be a dick if I said no, wouldn't I?
All right. So basically, what happened was It was like late 80s, and then my dad, he kind of just popped up out of nowhere. Big orb, electricity, the whole nine. And he ended up deciding to find my mom. And, he came and he found her. And there was this person who was a biker, and he was chasing him down, like trying to kill him. And my dad stopped him, and he fucked my mom, and it made me. And then it was like this crazy thing where, like, years later, my mom's at a insane asylum, and the biker guy comes back, and he, like, orb, electricity, whatever. And he goes into this bar, and that song about Cadillacs and hillbilly music and stuff was playing, and he beat up a bunch of bikers, and then now he rescued me, and I'm John Connor.
Bro, when you walked away, NoShame totally had me. He's like, yeah, man, my dad died in a motorcycle accident, and then my mom ended up marrying my stepdad. But then I found some of my dad's diaries years later and started reading them, and then I started to turn into my dad. And I'm over here like, man, I really don't want to make a joke because that's totally over. My God, dude, this dude's Jack's fucking Teller. And then I was like, wait a minute. I was so conflicted inside. I was like, I so want to make this joke, but that's just, you can't do that.
Fuck you guys. I felt like legitimate.
Bro,
like
your face?
Pile of shit.
I wish people could have seen your face. Your face was great.
You were grasping for straws, like, let me find whatever excuse is going to make this work.
So, like, was that heavy enough for you, or did you need more?
No, I'm good.
Tell us about the last ride flooring you.
No, what? It wasn't that. It was, I was just kind of taken back, like, like when you were hanging out with your, like your childhood friends, like there's this one, there's whatever time, like y'all hung out for the last time together and nobody fucking knew it.
That's where I got that idea. Like, dude, like one day, like the same, it can apply to anything. Like one day you're going to do something for probably the last fucking time. And for most of us, like we won't even know that it was like the last time we were going to do it.
Dude, think about it. One day you're going to have like your last painful shit. Like the last one. And you'll never take a painful shit after that again. And then you'll sit there and you'll be like, fuck, man. Like I took them for granted. I really did. And now I just want my shits to hurt a little.
Dude, at some point, you're never going to get pussy again.
Oh, that's a rough one.
Yeah.
And you'll probably still have some years yet to live and just be doing nothing.
That one's so bad. That one's way worse than not riding.
I think for me, the last time I'm going to get it was August 31st, 2020. So I'm just here celibate, guys.
I don't even get it. Heavy. I don't get it.
Yeah, you said the last time you get pussy.
Why are you gonna not get pussy after the end of this month?
No, it was way long ago. That was 10 months ago.
Oh, that makes more sense. Yeah, no, I mean, can you blame her? Who'd want to fuck you?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's why I need to get on fucking NoShames level, get in the gym.
I haven't gone yet. It was.
I haven't gone yet. Oh, so that was a development from today. Got it.
Yeah, that happened today. I haven't gone yet.
And you know, we're getting close to an hour here. One last rabbit hole. I'll take you down. You guys can spin off of this
job,
and then you guys can spin off of this if you want. So, one thing that
he doesn't even get it.
No, because you guys said on the last one that I need to be here to let us know. All right, we're at an hour. I listen. So, what the fuck?
What's your rabbit hole, bro?
All right. Here we go. I got it. So doing these trips, these last couple of ones, going with Drifter and Drifter and I and NoShame's going to come along with us and for a little bit and we're going to meet up, meet some different guys in Vegas and maybe Ken will fly out and all this stuff. Like that's all club related and things like that. So I don't mean club community period, but I think for certain individuals that are like me, in my experience, wondering whether or not you should be in a club and being a part of it, and then stepping up, but then deciding that you're going to walk away for other things. I have never been more confident and secure and happy in my decision to be like, nah, I'm good, fam, than just these last like 2 months of like riding and everything else. And I'm not bashing clubs, because that's what it'll sound like if you don't like pay attention. But I would argue, and hear me out, I would argue that the cons outweigh the pros the cons outnumber the pros 5-1, 10-1 of being in a club. Now, wait. With that said, I think for an individual that's looking on whether or not we want to be in a club, come around clubs, we've seen an exodus of guys leaving clubs too. So whether or not you want to stay in, it's about weight. And I think that while I'm saying there's more cons than there are pros to being in a club, I think that the pros that are there are very heavy, and they're very impactful, and they carry a lot of weight. And so when you talk about the balancing of those scales, numbers as far as how many there are may not make a difference compared to the weight of each pro and con. Does that make sense what I'm saying? And for me, the cons and what I get by not being in a club is far more important and measurable than what I was getting from being in a club. And it's an individual person. And if you try to make the club make that decision for you or anything like that, like, I think that's where guys get it wrong. It has to be your own decision and your own set of whatever is important to you. But I think across the board, universally, if you're honest about it, there's always going to be more cons than there are pros to being in a club. I think that the pros, though, are very heavy, very impactful, and they can tip the scales to where you're like, you know what? I don't care about the cons because the pros mean this much to me. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
100%, man. And I like that you added in there because some people might get defensive about it. It's up to the individual, So if you take a brand new father who's looking at prospecting for the first time, he doesn't know what he's getting. He doesn't 100% know what he's getting himself into yet. He's got this new baby at home, so spending time away from his newborn child is going to be much more impactful to him, possibly, than it is for me. My kids are fucking on autopilot,
What? Your kid couldn't even find the juice boxes.
No, he was just making sure it was okay. He got a juice box. If I'm not here to ask, he's just gonna fucking have it. But yeah, I know that my wife, it doesn't fucking bother her that I'm in the office now recording for, oh my God, over an hour here. But, she doesn't fucking need me around. My kids are off doing their thing, hanging out with their friends. So why can't I go hang out with mine? That's how I look at it.
And I think, NoShame said something a while back. I don't remember if it was in the group or on a podcast or what, but that, I'm gonna fuck this up, so please correct me. But the point that I enjoyed of it was he basically said there's a lot of shit that I hate or don't like or whatever, but what I get from it, I couldn't live without. And that's a decision that he made and what fits him. And I think each individual has to come to that exact same conclusion. And it is okay if you don't come to the same conclusion that he did. But I think guys force themselves to think that they have to either be all about it and there's no negatives. And then they're pissed off when there is. Or, they're upset that the club didn't live up to the expectation they thought it should, rather than just taking it for what it is. Like, it may not be a good fit for you. And that's okay, my guy, because there's going to be so many more pros for guys like you or NoShame or whoever. And if some guys, I find it respectable either way. Like, if you love your club and are all in, as you should be when you're wearing that patch because of the pros that you get versus the cons, that's awesome. And if you decide that is not for you because the cons outweigh the pros, that's fucking cool too.
You're still pretty heavily associated with the nation that you stepped away from, right?
I would. So no, I guess I don't know how to answer. I have a lot of friends that I would do absolutely anything for. I would drive cross country for. Shout out to Stone in Tennessee as an example. He could call me right now. I would hang up this podcast and go and see him, help him out. Now he has brothers for that, so whatever. But that's that's the level that I have with some of the guys, and I respect the history and the culture, and I love the dudes. But for me personally, I don't go to a lot of parties anymore. I'll do like one-on-one stuff with certain dudes, and I still big parties and big historical events or whatever I go to, but I didn't want to be around 24/7 knowing that the commitment wasn't going to be for me. So I guess I'm trying to walk the line between being respectful of where I came from and what I love, but also understanding that I don't want to give off that false sense because it's not for me, and it's not because this large nation or whatever did anything that like I'm like, no, that's just totally against my principles or anything like that. It was just me saying how I want to live my life doesn't line up with what's going to be expected of somebody wearing that patch. And I get that. And I'm not upset about it. I'm not angry about it. I love it. And it almost makes me appreciate them more because I can do my own thing more. And I appreciate other clubs more because I'm not just under this one umbrella. Like I'm not looking to hang out with another. How the fuck do you work? I'm not looking to like start being a hangaround for another club. I'm just saying that like I appreciate what other clubs are doing just as much. Does that make sense? I'm trying to explain it.
No, absolutely. That's something like you've always. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No. Go ahead, Dirk.
That's something you've always like since I've known you. You've always kind of been like I don't know battling with, but like also really like self-aware about is like you never knew if you wanted to put that time commitment in, and like if you always made a conscious effort to weigh the pros and the cons of just being in a club in general. And it's something I always appreciated about you. So I'm glad that you were able to make like that decision for yourself and kind of do it in a respectable way, because a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't put as much time and effort into thinking about something like that. So it's very respectable that you did, and the reasons you have for it are honorable. Ken?
I want to follow that.
All right. So anyway, thanks for joining us, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys for your time. No shame. It's always a pleasure to have you on, man.
What? No, come on. You have to finish. You have to finish your sentence.
Me?
No, I'm not going after that. Mine was stupid.
What?
No.
But I mean, Ken will have to make the same choice one day, and Chop too. Which, by the way, circle back real quick. I completely apologize. So we had Dirty on from Brothers in Chains, and unfortunately, their club president passed away in a motorcycle accident, and we put up a tribute to him. Here in the community, we all knew Chop from Brothers in Chains Motorcycle Club as this great guy. However, I didn't specify. I just said, our condolences to Chop's club, his family, his brothers, all that stuff. And people thought I meant Chop from the page, and that is, I want to apologize for that. I'm not trying to make light of his situation at all, but our Chop is alive and well and doing great. So I apologize for that confusion. And Chop will also have to decide someday what he wants to do, make his own decision. I know he's looking at clubs or whatever, and he'll have to decide if that's going to be a fit in his life.
Yeah, and that's just got to be a decision he's got to come to on his own, man.
Same with you.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I could fantasize all day about like, oh, I want to be this, or I want to be in that, or I want to be at this level, or I want to be at this fucking whatever. You can fantasize all day, but like you said, when you start doing that, you start putting either a type of or a specific club up on a pedestal, and then you're going to get there and you're going to realize that no club's perfect, and this club that you had idolized and molded to be perfect in your mind has all these flaws, and it's either going to put a bad taste in your mouth about that club or all clubs. And I'm not going to lie, man, when me and Drifter were having these conversations about me wanting to be part of a specific nation. And I was getting educated by both of you guys with like, oh, hey, you know, like, did you know about this? Did you know about that? Or you guys would be discussing it. And I'm just sitting here on the sidelines watching like, fuck me running. I didn't know about that. You know, it kind of poisoned everything for me. It's just like, man, fuck, why would I want to be a part of that? But it's also like you brought up, is this shit, you know, you brought it up to me, is this stuff that's wrong? Am I willing to deal with and or overlook this for what I get out of it and what I'm able to be a part of? And is this right for me? Is this right for my family? Because that's got to be something at where I'm at that I have to take into consideration.
Absolutely. And I think guys that put that club on I think it's natural to see something like what clubs have and want to put that on a pedestal. I totally get that. I think that's natural. If it doesn't live up to your it shouldn't live up to that pedestal, because nothing in life is perfect, right? Why should a club full of imperfect dudes suddenly be perfect? It should be awesome, but it should be flawed. And if you put that on a pedestal and then get angry because it didn't live up to that, that's on you. Like that's not on the club. The club is supposed to be imperfect, and you need to calibrate your expectations accordingly. And it's fine to like have this romantic view of it and then be disappointed and then kind of recalibrate and be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. There's going to be good and bad. And I still want to go through with this. This still means everything to me. I totally get that too. But it's an individual decision. Like if you're going to like sit there and just trash the club, take your shit to insane throttle. Like go over there and complain. Like I don't want to hear it. Like no club is going to be perfect.
Yeah, go talk shit about Sturgis and then promote it 3 days later. Yeah.
Bro, you know that video he's got coming up is going to be some old ass shit from like 10 fucking years ago.
The thing I see a lot with clubs, I think I might have used this analogy before, but like if you like church up the fucking Mount Rushmore in your head and like you look at pictures of it and see it in history books and like start researching it and then you like go there, Mount Rushmore sucks. It's like, it's not as big as the pictures make it look. It's like, it's not that cool. And then, but if you like just went there with no preconceived notions, it's fucking dope. It's like a bunch of dudes, their heads are carved in a fucking mountain. Like that's fucking awesome. The same thing with like Grand Canyon. Like all these big things, like they're widely known, widely publicized. We fantasize about them and we make up these grand notions in our head, and then when we see what the reality is, we're disappointed. And I think, yeah, like you said, it is natural to do that. But don't go into something just expecting anything, you know, in general with life. And then going back to what we were talking about, I think you're going to get out of a club whatever you're going to put into the club. You know, I think for people like you, Dave, like I don't think you see yourself like ever half-stepping anything. So if you were to get to a point in a club where you didn't feel like you were putting your all into it or giving it your 100%, it wouldn't be you to do it. And, you know, a lot of us are the same way. But, you know, I see people all the time in club life that are kind of hobbyists, and they just take the good parts of it. And they might not see these stresses that you're talking about. But like for me, like one of my big driving forces is being like a change for positivity, like in whatever organization that I'm in. So where I was like a little disappointed once I like the veil got uncovered and, you know, I saw the wizard behind the curtain, you know, it is what it is. But like at that point, my mission became like, okay, how can I make this like the best possible thing? And as you learn and get educated in this life, you start realizing that like your preconceived notions and what you thought perfection was is completely wrong. You know, and then there might be perfect things in that club that you just thought were imperfect. And then there's other things that you can still change. And if you're somebody like me and that's like your mission and that's what drives you, then I mean, that's why I say like I need a club. Like I need a purpose. And that's where I find it. And this is where I feel like I'm impactful. You know, you can do a million good right things in the army and you might get a little fucking award for it. But like in this organization, like if I do something and I do it right, like it impacts people. And I know the people personally that it impacts. And that's like so fucking satisfying for me. It drives me to keep pushing forward, and it drives me to push past like all the bullshit that comes along with it. And trust me, there's a lot of bullshit, but to me, it's all worth it. And I think I would be fucking lying if I said that I didn't like the bullshit a little bit.
And you know, that motivates people around you to do better as well. And that's, to me, I think that should be, one of the main tenets of any club, regardless of how you want to word it, is, yeah, this might have started off as being like a counterculture or sub-community, whatever you want to call it, because, this group of people wasn't really accepted into, society at that time. But now there's no fucking reason to not build up and push people to be better, as just human beings. That's just my addition onto that. So what's you got, Dave?
No, that's it. I mean, like I think NoShame perfectly hit the analogy of the pros for him are heavier than the amount of the cons. Like you said, there's lots of bullshit, but for him, the pros that he gets from it outweigh that, and that's an individual basis on everyone. It's unfortunate that sometimes you get hobbyists versus people that are considering like absolutely everything that can go on, giving their all. But again, that's human nature. Everything is flawed. And the Mount Rushmore analogy is perfect because Mount Rushmore, it does kind of suck. Like you get there and it's like you walk in and you can like kind of do a loop around this walking path and the heads really aren't that high on this mountain, and that's it. And you paid a bunch of money to get in there and there's some flags lining it. That's it. But the area around it is phenomenal. Like you can do some great riding. You can go down to Keystone and Hill City and ride Needles Highway and hit Custer State Park and do all this different, like, and especially if you go in the off season, like hit all these twisties and everything else on your bike and switchbacks, and it's phenomenal fucking riding. And I think that's a perfect analogy for the club. Like, oh, that one part sucked, but man, the rest of this is really fun. So, and again, like you said, that's just a decision that everybody kind of has to make on their own. And I think, for guys that are in it, that are looking to step away, that's okay too. Just do it the right way. Do it for the right reasons. Don't do it because actually, if you want to step away just because you want to go out and get laid 7 days a week and like you couldn't do that in the club, if that's now where your priority is at, go do that. But be honest. Like guys that come back and blame the club, like I can't stand it. Even if there's stuff you don't like about the club, that's not their fault. Just walk away and be like, this is why I'm walking away, and be done with it. And don't be petty or whatever. And don't join overlooking that stuff. And then, like NoShame said, be that force for change, but don't join knowing that stuff, thinking that you're going to use it for non-good things. Like NoShame's over there talking about positive change for the betterment of the club. Don't do it because you now want to wield a power staff or get chicks that you weren't getting before, because 60%, 70% of biker parties don't have good-looking chicks. All right?
I've gotten 0 chicks from being in a motorcycle club. Put that out there. Being in a club has gotten me laid exactly 0 times.
Look, yes, you know what? You go on YouTube, there are some parties. Some guys will tell you that they have great chicks. That's fine, but that is not the norm, all right?
They might have chicks at their house, but they don't bring them to the party.
That's all I got for this week.
Yeah, man. So Derek came in the last. Wow, that's 2 times.
You said my name last week too. It's okay.
No, that's what I'm just.
Anyways, follow me on Instagram. My name is Derek.
That's DER. There's 2 R's in it.
It's probably because your name shows up here as Derek and not NoShame. So. And
he's like, there's 2 O's in Goose, boys.
So NoShame, any final thoughts?
Hang on, I'm still trying to find him on Instagram. Hang on.
If somebody's telling a story about how their dad passed away, just don't go take a piss.
All right. Well, hey, we appreciate you guys' time this week, and hey, we're so thankful for all the love and support, guys, on this little project we're doing. It's been a fucking blast so far, and I'm looking forward to keeping this going. So, thank you guys for your time this week, and we'll catch y'all next week.